Welcome back, everyone. We have Knox from Enforce. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. Just living that life, you
Yeah,
know?
happy to talk to you again.
It's been a while, dude. You're about to release another record, man. Well, EP. What made you guys want to do an EP over a full length this time?
Well, we're actually working on an LP of the next LP, and we realized when we were writing it, they were like, "Damn, this is not going to come out this year." So we're like, "Well, I think we wrote too many songs anyway. So let's just put a few of the songs that we've written for the LP, throw it out like 3 songs as an EP, along with all the covers and stuff that we've recorded over the years." I was like, cool, that'll do, because we wanted to put something out this year, but just ran out of time, pretty much.
That makes sense. And you guys remastered Casket. What made you guys pick that track out of all the tracks you guys have?
Because it wasn't put out, well, it was put out in a physical format via
Mhm.
Decibel, but it wasn't put out like from us
Yeah.
as like a legitimate, like a, not legitimate was the word, as like an official song release. So
Yeah.
where it's like, yeah, let's beef it up a little bit with Casket.
And what did you guys add that was a little different, or did you guys keep it about the same?
We just kind of like, not much had changed,
Yeah.
but we had noticed that on streaming it had gotten like really compressed.
Oh,
So
shit.
like, okay, well, if it's gonna do that, let's try and like alter it just a little bit to make sure that if you hear it again on streaming, it sounds a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about that, so I don't know how to fix that. Like I just like, yeah, it sounds like a good idea. Get it moving.
Yeah. And then you guys did 2 covers. So those are older covers you guys recorded, or did you guys recover them?
No, the English Dogs cover we recorded while we did Kill Grid back
Nice.
in 2020, and then Deadly Intentions we did during War Remains,
Mhm.
and there's another cover that we did, but that's being released through a compilation that hasn't been announced or said or anything yet. So that'll be fun, and it's a fucking good one too.
And with these 2 covers, has the band heard them before, or are these gonna be the first time when it drops?
When it drops, I mean, um, because I remember when Deadly Intentions came out for just to stream earlier this
Mhm.
year, we had to ask for Obituary's permission, but I mean, we've toured before, we've hung out before, and so when we were like, hey, like, we want to cover this specific song, is that cool with y'all? They're like, yeah, that's dope. Like, go with God. I was like, all right, cool, that was easy.
There.
But you have to ask. So
Right. So it wasn't like a big ol' situation, they were just like, "Hell yeah, dude, fucking cover us."
no, not at all. They're like, that's dope. That's a good idea.
I mean, it brings them more fans, you know?
Yeah, and I don't think they put that song isn't really in their repertoire, but it's a fucking banger.
Right.
So it's just like, yeah, here's if you're not, if you're not digging deep on Obituary like back catalog, that's a
Yeah.
one hell of a song.
What made you guys pick that? I know you're saying that it's like a not a known one, but what made you guys pick something not so known?
We were just playing around with it in the studio. Like we were just like, okay, that one. Like there's very little like thought put into
Right.
certain things, you know. It's just kind of like very spur of the moment. Like, does that sound cool to you guys? Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. Okay, let's do that. Done. Takes about 5 seconds.
I remember that last interview that we talked and you're just like, "It's, like, easy breezy with you guys." You guys are just like, "Ah, let's just do it, you know, why not?"
Yeah, making like bigger decisions isn't so easy. Like when
Yeah,
it
of
comes to
course.
like tour offers we get and like what we can actually do and like what's feasible and stuff. Those get into longer conversations. But like when it comes to something as small as you guys want to record a cover? He's like, yeah, sure. Like
Yeah, why not?
it's fine. Well, yeah, why not?
If you could pick a cover you guys do that you haven't done, that works with your voice, 'cause you have a unique voice, what would you pick?
Oh, it would be something so off genre. It would be like aha,
That'd be
or
cool.
like because I have an okay singing voice. Or if we did like a Danzig cover, I
Ooh,
would love to do that. Like Sistinus by Danzig,
nice.
Dirty Black Summer, or How the Gods Kill. I could crush
Okay.
that.
And would
Like,
you guys make it all enforced sounding, or would you guys try to keep it somewhat?
no, just keep it as perfect as it is. It doesn't need to change it by any stretch of the measure.
And I gotta ask, you guys are doing an EP. With record this EP and writing it, was any of the process different compared to your guys' first release?
In comparison to the demo, not really. Honestly, not really. Like, because we recorded it pretty quick, and like over the course of like, it was probably like 3 or 4 full days,
Mhm.
and then, but kind of spread out because everyone's schedule was so fucked up.
Yeah.
And then we were getting ready to go to Copenhagen and play some shows in Greece, and we are like, fuck, we got to make a music video. So like, we made the music video the day before we left. It felt like, or like pretty close to it.
Yeah.
Then rushed to Europe as fast as possible. Spent like a week there. Rushed back. Then like 3 days later, started the Frozen Soul tour. So like, since recording it is all since then up until like mid August was like feels like one chunk of time.
Sounds like a huge chunk of time, especially going like back to backs, almost tours wise,
Yeah,
man.
it was a lot, but it turned out great. You know, pressure makes diamonds. So I
Right.
think it worked out.
Do you feel at that last release that you guys got a little bigger and like got more tour offers this time around compared to past?
With War Remains coming out,
Hmm.
yeah, for sure. Just the like the type of gigs we get asked for and the kind of stuff that we've been presented is like way bigger. I mean, we can't do everything, you
Of
know,
course.
but it's just like I could tell it, especially just within the playing clubs and playing in front of people. It's just like, yeah, they're like you're a known quantity now, and I was like, that's different. That's weird. That's,
Right.
that's weird for me. It's, you walk into the club with like holding all the gear and being like, where the fuck are I go? And everyone's like staring at you like, oh my god, it's like the dude. You're just like, what? Like, no, like stop it. But
Do you get do you get like a little bit of imposter syndrome a little bit?
yeah, that's my entire life. Like even like in professional, like in my work life, I'm just like, I shouldn't know all this. Like I shouldn't
Right.
be here, kind of thing.
That's very interesting. And why'd you guys pick 6 songs and compare it to anything for this EP?
It just fit. We had 3 new songs. Let's
Yeah.
throw Casket on there, and then the 2 covers to kind of round it out. And 6 is even. You know, 3 songs on both sides, and
Right.
we're good.
And do you have any favorite lyrics for on this that are on this record for you?
Yeah, the title track is my favorite Enforced song. Period. Um,
Yeah.
it's all based off of like this like life changing dream I had, and I basically tried to translate. Have you ever had like one of those dreams where like, you like immediately wake up and write it down?
Not for me, no.
Okay. Well, I had this dream, and it felt like I was in this dream for like, imagine being in a waiting room for like 6 hours, and
Mm.
you're just like, this thing will never end. It felt like that, but I felt like I was dreaming the entire time I was asleep. So like when I woke up, I had this very vivid recollection of everything. I still do. So I wrote everything down, and it's like 3 pages long,
Dang.
and so I try to translate that dream into lyrics, and
Dang.
it's basically like me having to overcome my sense or my fear of the unknown and not knowing what's going to happen,
Mhm.
and through all this change and um, changes in my personal life and changes within the band and changes with work and everything. I was when that song was written, it was at a very uncertain time in my life, and I was starting to have like panic
Mm,
attacks and shit like that. So it was basically like a panic attack dream.
that
Um,
sucks.
mhm. And the another song on that album, Deafening Heartbeats, that's strictly about having panic attacks. So it's all very like cerebral, I guess. Lyrically, it is.
Yeah. When were those written?
Um, I had the dream in January. I
Oh,
started
shit.
having I started having panic attacks in November, but I don't think I wrote the song until March. Or I didn't write the lyrics. Excuse me. I didn't write the lyrics until March,
Yeah.
and then the first track, Betting, I think I also did in March. So like
Dang.
I had to get over A Leap into the Dark before I could do anything else, because it was like it's still almost to this day like in the forefront of my mind, trying to like analyze it and figure out exactly what it was trying to say. So I might have to release. I might have to put out a little book of like what that dream was, because
That's crazy.
it's fucking insane.
Well, I remember last interview we were talking about 'cause how you write out your lyrics, you draw pictures and stuff, and we were talking about you trying to maybe eventually release that into a book. And I was gonna bring that up if you ever rethought about that after that.
I think about it all the time, but it's just like I I don't have the time to just sit down, and I don't even know how to start fleshing that shit out. I know a few friends of mine, like Alex from Undeath, he put out a book. My friend Ace from Mutually Assured Destruction, he's put out two or three. I think it's two. Um, but I need to talk to them, being like, how did you do that? Because I don't know the first thing about it. So
I I think a lot of, like, fans would appreciate that, especially, like, a lot of people have a lot of panic attacks, so that would that'd be pretty cool to hear, like, your story and shit like that, like, people resonate with that type of stuff, you know?
yeah, I think that's kind of lyrically where I'm kind of like falling into is
Mhm.
I've never really talked about myself, sans a handful of songs, and so uh, everything on the EP is very personal, and um, uh, the song "Mercy Killing Fields" on War Remains, that's very personal, and people really like those songs, and I was just like, maybe there's something to gain by like opening up myself to other people, because I've steered away from it for so long
Yeah.
that there might be something to it.
Right? Right?
You think?
I think so.
Yeah.
So with you talking about getting personal with your lyrics and stuff like that, when you're singing these songs live, do any of them, like, affect you where you're like, "Damn, dude,"
Yeah.
or
I get way more intense because I have a personal connection to what I'm saying, like in my bones.
yeah.
So it definitely changes my performance. And like I know on the Frozen Soul tour, like we were playing "A Leap into the Dark,"
Mhm.
and no one had heard it before, and I was like, well, like it sounds pessimistic, but I was like, well, I have to sell it, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's a good one, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I was like, I don't need to sell it because I'm going to act like this anyway. If that makes any
Right.
sense, because I'm so like emotionally and physically invested into it. So it's like, yeah, it's going to go off without a hitch, and it did. People loved it. I was like, for a song you've never heard before, like you guys sure are popping off.
But that's what happens. Do you feel like with you're talking about you get personal with some of your lyrics, the songs that you don't have personal, like, feelings for, do you have feelings like that on stage too, or do you prefer, like, having more personal your songs more personal to you?
No, I don't feel like there is a sense of disconnection, because I'm not talking about something that's personal to me specifically, but those songs are more um general, so they could apply to a lot of people in a lot of situations. That disconnection is kind of like it's not specifically for me, it's for everyone. Um and so those songs I think are in my head, they feel and sound bigger. So I kind of make myself bigger and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But when it comes to stuff that's very personal, I kind of shrink on stage. I've watched videos of us playing, and like I can tell that you're changing attitudes, like
yeah.
from one song to one song, because it's affecting you differently.
That makes sense though.
Mhm.
And with this release, did you guys listen to any bands that influenced your guys' sound? Because I hear, like, a lot of, like, Slayer, like, guitar riffs, guitar solos type of
Yeah, I
stuff.
mean it's always Slayer, it's always Sepultura. I know Will fucking loves Razor. Um,
Razor's cool.
yeah, and Zach listens to a lot of TV bands, so it's kind of has like this kind of dark crust punk, um, Slayer vibe to
Yeah,
it. It kind of hits everything for me, and that's why it's my favorite. It's just like it does everything that an enforced track should do.
right.
Um, so in that regard, it's just like, in my opinion, that's the best song so far.
I like when I heard the last record, I was like, "Man, like, I didn't think a band could sound any more like" not I don't wanna say '80s, like, thrash, but, thrash as fuck.
I know what you mean.
And
I know.
and basically to hear this new EP, I was like, I didn't think you guys could top what you could do, and it's insane to see you guys do that, like, especially just coming back from, a year. You guys had a year basically since the last release.
Yeah, and we've just been touring and working like crazy, and you know, um, people getting engaged, people getting married. Like it's kind of been it's been a whirlwind of stuff, and uh, hurricanes and fucking storms
Yeah,
destroying people's houses and whatnot. It's
insane.
been from September 2023 to September 2024 has been a lot. So
Dang.
when it came down to like actually like trying to record, like an LP or something like that, it's like, dog, we don't have time for that. Like, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
But we could do a little bit.
right.
So that's what we chose to do.
And you guys are about to head out on a European tour. But I
Yep.
think I think it's like a week before you guys do drop this with or kinda around the same time.
Yeah,
With
we
you
leave
guys
like 3 days after it drops.
and are you guys gonna play are you adding these 6 songs to the set list? How are you guys gonna make this work? You
Yeah,
guys have a
we're
bunch of
adding we're adding two of the new three songs are gonna be we're gonna be playing.
so with you doing this, if with your next tour, if you could pick like a dream set list, what would your dream set list be for Enforced?
Um, it would be all the ones that we don't regularly play, just because we haven't played them. I mean, that sounds like a cop out, but it's true. It's just like, yeah, there's some things that you just have to play because like they're the bangers. But I was like, I'm always of the opinions like, the B sides are cool too. Like,
Yeah,
so it would be like we play Trespasser,
that'd be cool.
we play the Doctrine, but we would cut out that entire intro because that I listened to it today to make sure I wasn't losing my mind. But the song doesn't really start until a minute and 30 in on the recording, and
Mhm.
I don't like that. So just start right when it just starts blistering.
That's
Um, and uh, and the crowd won't figure out what it is because it doesn't have the intro, and then I don't care. Um, let's see. So Trespasser Doctrine. UXO is always fun. And off of War Remains, it would be Empire, it'd be Mercy Killing Fields. I know that's only four songs, but I'm blanking.
It happens, it happens. Are you guys rehearsing at all for this tour? If so, what songs with the new release do you feel the most energy between you
Um,
guys?
we're going to practice. We have a fill in, because our guitarist Zach left the band.
Aw,
So, which is no like, there's nothing wrong with that. We're all good. We're all still friends. It's like it was amicable. It was fun. It was fine. I'm happy that for his sake, I'm happy that he's pursuing what he wants to pursue, and that's fine.
yeah.
But so we found a fill in, and we still need time to practice with him at least once. And then, sorry, what was the other half of the question?
With this new release, do you have any songs you guys are rehearsing that you feel energy between that you guys are excited to perform, but
Yes. Uh, yeah. I mean, we have full energy for playing A Leap into the Dark, but for the other one, which I'm gonna keep a secret,
eh,
like that one's gonna be fun just because we've never played it before live. So that'll
dang,
be a lot of fun. And I think we're opening with it, so
dang.
that'll be awesome.
That's gonna be pretty cool. And last time we talked about your guys' tour rituals, and I'll never forget the cooler
They've
stories. With
changed. They've changed.
with with you guys going to Europe, do you guys still have the cooler rituals, or do you guys change because you guys are in Europe?
Yeah. The last two times we've been in Europe has been kind of like going by the skin of your teeth, like figure it out, and that's the routine of just like, I don't know, man. We'll see what we can do. I know when we were in Europe last, for like a tour, like a proper tour,
Mhm.
um, we always wanted on our rider to have like a charcuterie board,
Yeah.
but we and like a veggie tray, and we never really got one. We got
Oh,
one like every now and then, but like for beers and liquors, yeah, they would accommodate. But it's just like, dude, like if you can do that, you can definitely get a veggie tray for like $5. Like what the fuck?
right.
Um, but we would go to grocery stores or mini marts or whatever and make our own
Mhm.
charcuterie boards, and they would be so incredible. Like the quality of meats and cheeses is unparalleled. So
Yeah.
we would just load up on, dried saucissons and stuff and just go to town with all these different types of cheeses that we couldn't pronounce. We had no idea what it was. But like that was that one time we got an Airbnb in the middle of nowhere in France, and there was a cherry orchard attached to it. So our drummer Alex got on my shoulders, and it was so hot we were like half naked, and he was like up in the cherry tree like picking cherries and like dropping them down for everybody.
I wish there was a video of this. You
There is.
the
I don't have it.
the fans
But,
need to see it. They
but it
wanna
was
see it.
it was definitely like a master blaster situation where like he would grab one and feed it to me because I was holding him and I was just being fed cherries as like walking along. Um, that was a really good day. That was a fun day.
Sounds like you guys have a lot of really good days on tours from all the stories you've told. It
Yeah,
seems.
I can't complain. Like we've had a lot of bad days and a lot of like technical problems and like a lot of van issues and stuff like that. But like, can't let it get you down. Like you still have to do still got to do what you got to do, and like the worst thing to do is to cancel a show. So if anything, it just kicks in all the problem solving gears and we get it done. And it's mostly I would give all the props to our guitarist Will, who's
Nice.
basically like band dad. Like he does so much, and like we're ever like appreciative of him for that. So
I always
salute to
thought you would be I thought you'd be Bandad. You look like
me.
Bandad.
No, I'm like band uh bad uncle. I I'm just constantly. I'm just like I'm hanging. I'm bad unk. Like I'm not. I'm not. I'm trying to get into some shit.
Then with all your crazy like sandwich making and charcuterie boards, can we see an enforced like cookbook coming out one day or what?
No, it was just. It would just be like, just go to the gas station and hope for the best. Like, it's changed a lot. Um,
Get that cup noodle.
yeah, I still swear by the cup noodle thing. Like, I do it more often than not. Like, it holds up. It's dry goods. It doesn't need to go in the cooler. You can just shove it like a six pack under your seat, and you're good to go for at least 2 days. And it costs you what, $2? It's
No,
perfect.
no more ham water with like
No more
pepper.
ham water. I think I told you it was salsa verde water and
Oh my god.
a bunch of like empty beer can water, which was like I think those beers were not empty when they got thrown back in there because it was like straight up like a slurry of like green and yellow, and then like some glass bottle turmeric drink that had broken. So it was just bog water. It was disgusting.
Whatever, that's so funny. And we were talking about you guys having like beers on your riders from the last interview. What do you guys do in Europe? Do you guys ask for more fancier beers compared to here?
Nah, just whatever is local or like whatever's the easiest to grab, just grab that. It makes it more fun and interesting.
Yeah.
Just like because like some places like when we played Thessaloniki in not France in Greece, they had their own specific like regional beer, and that was on the rider. So that and it was
Cool.
incredible. So I was like, well, shit, glad you fucking said something.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then with you guys going to Europe, do you guys try to try any new foods or try to go visit the cathedrals or anything like that?
Yeah, last time we did, but it was like nothing. We were never in like a very like specific like heavy populated area. We played everywhere except for like the big. We didn't play like Paris or anything,
Ah,
but
shit.
but it was cool to go into like a very small regional towns
Yeah.
or like villages, population like 200, and go to their cathedrals or their churches or whatever, and they've been around, for 2,000 years, and no one knows about it, and they have all this insane lore and history about this one church or this one building that's been standing. There's one that I kind of want to write a song about because in its history, I think the first priest who was there got caught up in some adultery,
Oh
I
shit.
believe, um, or he was accused of it, and he was uh, like he was forced into a trap and into the nearby woods, and I think the husband like stabbed him to death and like threw him in a lake.
Dang.
So that's cool.
You could make like
Uh,
a cool music video on that too.
well, maybe, but it's just like, or even to like try and pigeonhole a reference to that
Yeah,
would mean nothing to how many people are on the planet now? 8 billion.
probably, maybe more.
It would only make any sense to maybe 400 people. And that's cool. But I know, I know what you're talking. I like they'll be like, holy shit, this one guy referenced Eveline in the middle of nowhere, France.
Still be interesting though.
Yeah, it was cool.
And you guys look. I looked at your guys' tour dates for Europe. It seems like you guys are playing like Copenhagen and shit. Are you guys looking forward to doing anything there? Or
Copenhagen specifically.
that's what it looked like. It looked like you guys are going to. Well, it just means anywhere. Like you guys are going to like some bigger
Yeah,
places.
we're doing like a full European tour. I'm really excited to go to all the Scandinavian countries.
Hell yeah.
I've never been. I've always wanted to go. I've heard great things about it, but I just need to like put eyes on it and like touch it for
Right.
myself, kind of thing. So Sweden's up there for me. Finland's definitely up there. We've got friends in Finland, so I want to hang out with them. Um, and then seeing a little bit of the more eastern side of Europe, I'm really interested in because I don't really know much about it. So I'm all ears for everything.
That's gonna be cool. And with you guys touring a lot, do you prefer long runs or short runs tour wise?
We're going to be changing that. It's going to be short runs because no one can really do long runs anymore.
That
Um,
makes sense. Because it's long. This is gonna be a long tour for you guys.
they all kind of become slogs at some point, and not everyone like agrees
Mhm.
or is on the same page about that. Like, I love being on the road as much as possible, and I love being put in terrible situations. Um,
Of
just
course.
because it's just the spice of life. Like, I'm not thinking about it from a business standpoint or like how this affects my bank account. I'm thinking about how it affects my life experience.
Yeah.
So, and that's pretty what's it called, irresponsible.
Yeah.
So when other people don't agree with that, you're just like, yeah, you make more sense than me.
That makes
So,
sense.
oh, it makes 1000% sense, and I sound insane, but it's
Yeah.
just like I'm here, like like if we're in this place, I want to experience it for what it is,
Of course.
and if you can tack on as many of those experiences as possible within the shortest amount of time, I'm down. But not everyone sees it the exact same way. A lot of people after like 2 weeks want to go home, and
Makes
I'm
sense though.
I'm totally down to live on the road if I could, but that's not the case.
That makes sense though. And you guys tour quite often. Is there any favorite venues you love playing?
Oh man, favorite venues, Brick by Brick in San Diego is awesome.
I never heard someone say that, but that's interesting.
I've always had a good time. Um, we've always had fun there. We've made friends from playing there so much, so it's when you go there, like it's like Olive Garden, your family, so that's nice. Um, any place like that where like I know that you know friends from that area are going to be there. Those are mostly my favorite,
Mhm.
strictly because I know that I'm going to like feel comfortable because I'm around people that I love, kind of thing.
That makes
Rather
sense.
than like you're playing a place that you've never played before, or and you're alone, kind of thing. It's just like nah. I mean, Saint Vitus was always sweet when it was up.
That's sucks it close. That sucks.
Yeah. Anywhere in Texas is fun for the same reason of just like having so many friends down there that it's
Right.
I get apoplectic. I get really really excited. Um, what's the place in Chicago? Reggie's? I think it's Reggie's. That's a cool venue. Insanely hard to park at, but
I bet.
totally worth it. Because they have an apartment attached to the venue, so basically, if you play there, you get to stay there. So,
Oh, that's cool.
and that's always just like cool. I don't have to fucking worry about it. Awesome.
Right.
Um, yeah, I mean, just wherever there's friends, it doesn't really matter where specifically, but if there
Yeah.
are friends or family nearby, it's always a gift.
And with this upcoming tour, is there any songs you're looking forward to seeing from 200 Stab Wounds or Gatekeeper live?
I
Or
want to see it in
Gatekeeper.
the shreds, and I feel stupid because I've only listened to the new 200 um, record twice, and I need to get more
Ooh,
acquainted with it.
it's pretty
But
fucking good.
we listened to it. We listened to it a few. We listened to it a lot in the van on the Frozen Soul tour.
Mhm.
But I had uh, AirPods in listening to Dungeon Synth because I'm a fucking nerd like that. I just kind of like sequester myself. It did just pass the time. So I didn't really hear it as many times as I wanted to. So
Right.
I need to do better. But what was I gonna say? I caught up with them. They played Richmond maybe a week or two ago, and I caught up with them, and
That must've been cool.
it was good seeing the boys, and they're all really pumped for going out on the road. So that's great.
I bet. And you guys just announced today you guys are playing Municipal Waste's 25th anniversary show. How long was that in the works for you guys?
Guess
Months. It had to been months.
for us, days.
Days.
Yeah,
If they seem like a planner type of band, that must have been cool though.
they planned a lot. They planned everything down to a T, and then all it basically came down for us was Tony just texted me, and I was like, of course.
That's a
Um,
great thing right there.
yeah, and he's like, cool. You're gonna shit your pants when you see the lineup. And so
That's pretty
got
solid lineup.
he sent me the flyer like a couple like 3 days ago, and I was like, damn, that's insane. That's gnarly.
When I saw it this morning, I was like, "Man," and I live in California, cool,
Hey, just take a red eye, get a bus, take a fly.
right?
I almost said take a fly bus,
Yeah,
take an
that
Airbus.
are we talking about some magic school bus? That's what you're
No,
talking about, a fly bus right there? I'm just kidding.
it's not Airbus.
But no, that'd be
But
cool.
and they're still gonna do like pre-shows and after shows and stuff. So it's like it's gonna take up all weekend. So it's not just those two shows that are announced. There's so much more to come.
I bet. And then I always love to ask bands, especially vocalists, what 5 vocalists shaped you as a vocalist?
That's would be Max Cavalera would be number one.
Mhm.
Uh, Dwight Hellion would be number two. Those are probably interchangeable, so it's a tie at the top. And then when I was really young, Jake Bannon from Converge was big for me. And then who else was big in my head? Um, oh, what's his? Oh God, Human Furnace from Ringworm,
Oh, shit. Okay.
and then probably Scott Vogel from Terror. Just like
Nice.
vocal presence, like just stage presence
He's
alone
also
is he's a fucking beast.
he's
And
bad.
also, I'd also add from that same like thought, Freddie Madball, because we played a couple shows with them. That dude is unstoppable as a vocalist. He's easily one of the best vocalists I've ever seen, or like frontman I've ever seen.
I
He he legit jumps and runs for an hour and does vocals, and like he is like you can't take your eyes off him. He's everywhere at once. It's awesome to see.
I agree, man. And then we did an interview like a year ago. Has your bucket list changed a little bit? Is it still the same? You guys have toured a lot more since then.
It's still pretty much the same, but like we've done things that weren't on it that are kind of like also included into it because I never it never occurred to me that we would do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like playing Greece, playing in Thessaloniki and playing in Athens, and then doing really well.
Yeah.
That never occurred to me that that could happen. I thought like yeah, playing Greece like that'll probably happen at some point, but them like going off without a hitch.
Right.
Oh damn, this is sick. Playing Copenhagen was cool because we we didn't play with by any stretch of the measure, but we played with Body Count and Limp
Oh,
Bizkit,
cool.
and I finally got to see Limp Bizkit.
That
That's
must have been
definitely
cool.
oh dude, I've been waiting for that since like 1998, and I lost my mind. Like I had so much fun. I was crowd surfing like a crazy person.
Oh, that's cool. You should have pulled up a sign, "Let me sing a song." 'Cause have you seen those videos?
No,
Yeah, people do that all the time, and Fred be like, "Yeah, get up here, man, let's do it."
no, the barricades were like 80 feet away. Like I couldn't get near the stage, but like I
Still
went
would've
from pretty far in the back to pretty far in the front. So
been
that's a lot of airtime.
right. That
Um,
that is pretty crazy.
yeah, but like the sad part is like the stage that we were playing. Um, right before we started playing on the main stage, Body Count started, so I can hear like their air
Oh,
raid sirens going off, and I was
nice.
like, dude.
They're amazing live. I'm
I
excited
want to
for
see
that new
him
record.
so. I want to see him so bad, and
They're a
and
must.
like and I'm on stage like getting like sound checking and I hear the sirens and it's like some motherfuckers and I was like oh no, god fuck this set I don't want to be here. I want to be 2 miles that way because it's so huge.
Yeah,
But having we had a beer release along with a decibel of like
I remember
metal
that.
beer fest in Philly, and the beer release went like too well to the point where like they sold out, and or Magnanimous Brewing, who we worked with, they sold out. But the intention was like, well, yeah, we'll give you guys all the rest. But then they didn't have anything to give us. And we're like, well, would you consider like making a full, full production of it? And they're like, I mean, it's selling like crazy, so yeah, why not? So they did,
Yeah,
and it got like national distribution, and it did really well. So I was like, that's really cool. That's something that I never thought would
that's
be like
makes
in
sense.
my cards. Like that's just wild to me. So that was really fun.
And then, I gotta ask, where can everyone keep up with you guys and buy this new fantastic EP?
Yeah, you can follow us at Enforced RVA on Instagram and Facebook and all those socials and whatnot. I think we still have a Twitter. I'm not sure. I don't have Twitter, so I don't know. But and then buying the EP, you can get it. There's two variants,
Mhm.
red vinyl and black vinyl. I think evilgreed.com has the red vinyl and Century Media has the black vinyl. And that's
Nice,
that's the only two ways to get it as it stands, or
nice.
from us directly. So hope to see you on the road.
And, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to be on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Emily.
Well, I'm gonna end the interview